You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, in case you guys have not been keeping up with the Steelers, they are very much in a similar predicament to the New England Patriots. Now, like I said last night in my Mac Jones video / Bill Belichick / Patriots offense is a dumpster fire rolling downhill on a tire fire, I have to wonder if, and I was a big Bill Belichick has the cred to coach as long as he wants with the Patriots. But after that loss to the Cowboys, I had to take a step back and go, am I sure about that? And I felt the same way about Mike Tomlin. I did. I still like Mike Tomlin. I like the no-nonsense way that he has, and we all know that well, he doesn't have losing seasons. But one could also say about Mike Tomlin, he hasn't had as many deep playoff runs as I think a lot of people feel like Mike Tomlin should have had, especially considering he had Big Ben as his quarterback forever. One Super Bowl, right? So we're going to talk about this because Matt Canada is under fire. Under fire with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The fan base is ready to run this guy out of town. Now, they're in a situation like the Patriots kind of last year where Belichick just, for no apparent reason, decided to make Matt Patricia and Joe Judge offensive coordinators, okay? Now, in case you guys don't know, they're not offensive coordinators. Now, Matt Canada is an offensive coordinator, and I use air quotes because, well, he doesn't look much like one. Their offense looks like trash. And if they're not careful, in the same way that Mac Jones is kind of being run over by a bus in New England, that's going to happen to Kenny Pickett. Another guy I was very high on in the draft and thought, man, so some teams missed getting a franchise quarterback, and he fell to what I thought was going to be the perfect organization for him. And unlike the Patriots, I mean, when I come over here to the depth chart of the Steelers do have real offensive weapons on this team. They're just not scheming this up. And my thought process, and look, you got Pickens, you got Allen Robinson here. Freiermuth was a good player. He looks like he's hurt. But my God, you drafted that beast Darnell Washington out of Georgia. And I clicked over and was like, one catch? One damn catch? Really? That's all he's got? No wonder you guys want to run him out of town. Kenny Pickett on PFT. He's the 32nd best quarterback in the league. He's regressed since his rookie year. So, something very interesting happened. Steelers fans started, as you can imagine, and this has happened really all season, they've been calling for Matt Canada's job. Even Mike Tomlin seemed to be appropriately pissed the other day, but I don't know that he's not the fire an offensive coordinator during the season type, which is going to be a problem, I think. So, as fans, NFL fans and Steelers fans, they're a national brand, much like the Raiders and the Patriots and the Niners and the Cowboys and the Packers, and I guess to a lesser extent the Bears. Oh, Bears fans will hate me for that. There's been a lot of fire over get this guy the hell out of town because our offense looks like shit. There's nothing innovative about this offense at all. You're not seeing any kind of Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid. You're not seeing Mike McDaniels, Josh McDaniels, for crying out loud. I hate to say that, but yeah, Josh McDaniels, really good offensive coordinator, may completely suck as a coach, it looks like. But the fact is, you get my point. Are we at a day and time where guys like Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick in this NFL is not going to work? I mean, Brandon Staley out there with the Chargers has Justin Herbert. He's a defensive guy. It's a disaster out there. That team has had a Super Bowl-like roster for 3 years in a row. They can't do crap. They can't. And you got to wonder, are the Steelers in that same kind of boat? So let's get to this, because Steeler fans have been doing a little detective work on Matt Canada. And as you can imagine, there's plenty of people talking mad amounts of shit about this offensive coordinator. By the way, side note, Kenny Pickett believes he's going to play Sunday. Okay, so if you're a Steelers guy, there you go. My son, massive Steelers fan. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but he is. That's his team. So let's get to this. There's been a lot of discussion of burner accounts. That's right. I did a video the other day, last week or the week before. It looked like Deshaun Watson may have created a burner account. By the way, Deshaun, you may want to create another one, because my next video is about you again for your ass sitting out of that game the other day. So that's neither here nor there. That's the next video. There's been a lot of discussion of burner accounts. In case you don't know, that's somebody pretending to be somebody else when they may be the said entity under fire defending themselves. You got that? Fake account defending themselves against backlash, okay? There have been some cases where those accounts have been at least definitively linked to people, and there have been cases of prominent sports figures discussing their own use of burner accounts. Kevin Durant, anybody. And so that has much of the world on the hunt for potential sports figures' burners, and that drew a lot of discussion around under fire Steelers offensive coordinator Matt Canada Tuesday. Several Twitter sleuths pointed out that a Twitter account defending Canada at DannyFootball77 seemed to be linked to an email address that could theoretically be Canada's team email address. Now, they think they have debunked this, but it should be noted the Steelers own Steelers.com. Okay? That should be noted here. All right? They do. So, do they have access to more than one email account? I don't know, but yikes. Number one, if you really registered it this way, you are an idiot. Your play calling being horrible, there's no wonder. I mean, because you're not exactly thinking outside the box. So this Matt Canada burner account at DannyFootball77 theory might actually have some weight to it. I went through the forgot password process for the account and just look at the email address associated with it. Matt.Canada@Steelers.com. Yikes. Yeah. Okay. So, and in case you're wondering what we're talking about here, with this guy getting absolutely drugged over having a burner account, this is some examples of what he has answered, some of the criticism. Kenny Pickett might not be it, but we don't know his full potential until we get a real offensive coordinator. Matt Canada is certainly not helping him out in his development. And if you think offensive coordinator doesn't make a difference, look at how well Baker Mayfield is playing under Dan Canales down in Tampa, or how well the offensive coordinator up in Seattle has turned around the career of Geno Smith. I mean, offensive coordinators make all the difference in the world. Good ones, anyway. Good ones. So that was a criticism. That was a comment by Blitzberg. And Dan Robbins at DannyFootball77 answered that. And then when the next guy doesn't magically turn him into Patrick Mahomes, he'll be a castaway too. What an odd thing to defend. What an odd thing to say. That's what's weird about these retorts that I believe add some fire to this burner account theory. Okay, that's weird. No way in hell I'm giving up on Pickett. Get the kid an offensive line and a better offensive coordinator. This kid can play. Give him some tools. He needs to let plays develop. I think that's a very lucid, very astute criticism, critique, however you want to put it, of what's going on. Offensive line's a little shady. Looks like their OC's a nightmare. So the O-line is an excuse for Kenny's struggles, but the OC is expected to turn water into wine. Makes sense. What in the world could you be having to gain by defending Matt Canada at this point? I mean, who has decided to die on that Matt Canada heel right now? Let's think about that. Wow. George Pickens is a superstar on any other team with a competent OC. And he's trying his best to be damn good on this team. He's off the chain. GP, who talks that way? GP, except coaches. GP has 30 targets through 4 games. That's the same as a guy like CeeDee Lamb. Canada gets him involved. Get your facts straight. That's very personal. This guy that is answering these criticisms, he has obviously taken this personally in some kind of way for some odd reason. He has taken this personally, and I don't get it. By the way, Steelers center Mason Cole was heated after the play, starts stalking to the sideline, rips off his helmet. All 22 cuts it off, but saw on the TV broadcast him motioning to run the ball to the sideline. I can't say I blame him. This guy comes back and says, sigh. Kenny Pickett just reading one side of the field and then bails from a clean pocket. Never even made it across the field to the progression of Calvin Austin III on the backside dig. Just can't be belling from the pockets like this. Can't do it. There's a hole right up the middle for an easy conversion. The play was designed to clear out the middle of the field. It worked. Kenny bailed on it. It happens. Okay. I mean, you may be right, but you seem to know exactly what that play's supposed to do. Okay? Buckle up for this one. Since 2021, the Steelers have had more first quarter drives end in turnovers, 15, than they've had end in touchdowns, 13. They're the only team in the league with such a stat. Is Canada turning the ball over too? ? Laugh out loud. I mean, what's going on here? That's really strange. It's really, really odd that this guy is going out there and dying on the Matt Canada heel. Okay? It is very strange. And some people have said they think they have debunked this. Whispers, that's not how NFL team employees' email addresses are configured. Yeah, that's true. But they absolutely have Steelers.com. It is owned by the Steelers. So what's the deal? As noted in the article, most NFL team email accounts tend to end with teamname.nfl.com rather than at team name. Of course, the Steelers do own Steelers.com. It does not redirect to Steelers.nfl.com. And there are plenty of things that can be done with redirects around emails, so this isn't necessarily conclusive proof that Danny Football's account is not linked to Canada. And it is possible that it's someone he knows, even if it isn't through a team-linked email. But the notes here are valid and should be considered before anybody concludes that it's definitely Canada. Okay, so it may not be Canada. But boy, it sure looks that way, doesn't it? I don't get it. I mean, like, why even say anything? Because I would assume most likely this guy's not going to have a job at minimum after this year unless something radically changes in his thought process and his offensive philosophy. And if you're just bred to call certain plays and if you're extremely conservative and you're not setting your quarterback up for success, long term you should be a goner. And they should scare the crap out of Tomlin because you just invested in a first-round quarterback that your offensive coordinator, in theory, could turn into a complete bust. That's odd. That's odd. Another burner account situation. For real. If you're a Steelers fan, I think Pickett's your guy. I do. But, and again, unlike the Patriots, you've got some guys there with talent, but good luck. I mean, good luck with that guy calling plays, and now you got him looking like, well, in theory, it looks like him out there defending himself, which is even scarier because why do you have that kind of time when you should be in the bat cave drawing up plays? I mean, my God, Andy Reid draws up plays on frickin' Burger King napkins, for crying out loud. And no, I'm not kidding you. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.